The fluorescent lights of Manchester Royal Infirmary's ICU hummed as I checked the monitors. Bed 7. Mr. Hassan Ahmed, 68 years old. Septic shock. Multi-organ failure. The numbers told me he had maybe 48 hours left. I'd been an ICU nurse for 12 years. I knew how families fell apart when death approached. But the Ahmed family was different. Disturbingly different. At 2:47 a.m., when his blood pressure crashed and alarms screamed, I expected chaos. Instead, his children stood calmly around his bed, hands raised, whispering prayers in Arabic. "We need you to step back," I said urgently. The eldest son, Khalid, looked at me with eyes that held no fear. "Do what you need to do, sister. We trust Allah's plan." Trust Allah's plan? His father was dying. But I had a job to do. We stabilized him. Barely. When I looked up, exhausted, the family was still there. Still calm. Still praying. "How are you not falling apart?" I asked. Khalid smiled. "We believe he's in Allah's hands. Either way, we're at peace." Peace? I'd never heard anything more absurd. Over 3 days, I watched them. They read Quran in soft voices, prayed 5 times daily, treated me like family. When I brought coffee, they asked about my day with genuine warmth. On the 4th night, Mr. Ahmed deteriorated rapidly. Dr. Morrison pulled the family aside at 11:15 p.m. "There's nothing more we can do. It's time to withdraw life support." I expected denial, anger, desperate pleas. Instead, Khalid nodded. "Can we have a few minutes with him first?" I dimmed the lights and gave them privacy. They weren't crying. They were reciting Surah Yasin, the chapter for the dying. Then something impossible happened. At 11:47 p.m., Mr. Ahmed's heart rate stabilized. His blood pressure rose. His oxygen improved. I stared at the monitors, convinced they were malfunctioning. Dr. Morrison came running. "What did you do?" "Nothing. They were just praying." For the next hour, we watched his vitals improve. By 6 a.m., his kidneys showed recovery. "I've never seen anything like this," Dr. Morrison muttered. "Medically, this shouldn't be possible." Mr. Ahmed opened his eyes on the 5th day. Weak, but alive. The family thanked Allah first, then us. It struck me as odd, but they saw it differently. We were just tools. Allah was the healer. I couldn't stop thinking about it. That impossible recovery. That inexplicable peace. 3 weeks later, another Muslim patient. Mrs. Aisha Rahman. Massive stroke. 5% chance of recovery. Her family, same calm, same prayers, same trust. I found myself lingering, listening to the Quran, watching how they cared for her with such tenderness. On the 7th night at 3 a.m., unable to sleep, I searched. Why are Muslims so calm facing death? I discovered Tawakkul, complete trust in God. The belief that death isn't the end but a return to the Creator, that this life is just a test. I'd been agnostic, essentially atheist. I'd seen too much suffering. But these families had something I didn't, a strength I couldn't comprehend. I started reading the Quran during breaks. The verses about death, patience, trusting God's wisdom. They hit differently. Mrs. Rahman woke up on day 14. Against all predictions, she woke up, her mind intact. She whispered, "Alhamdulillah." Dr. Morrison called it a miracle. I called it a sign. I started visiting the hospital prayer room, watching Muslims pray. A consultant surgeon standing shoulder to shoulder with a porter, both equal before God. One day, Nurse Fatima found me there. "Are you okay, love?" I told her everything. About Mr. Ahmed, Mrs. Rahman, the peace I witnessed, the questions keeping me awake. "That's Tawakkul," she said softly. "We believe Allah is in control. Death isn't the enemy, it's a doorway. Read the Quran with an open heart. Ask Allah to guide you." That night, alone in my flat, I prayed for the first time in years. "If you're real, show me. If Islam is the truth, make it clear." The answer came in quiet certainty over the following weeks. Every verse felt written for me. Every question the Quran answered. The pieces fit together. The suffering, the death, the purpose of life. 3 months after Mr. Ahmed's recovery, I took my Shahada in the hospital prayer room. I testified that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I cried from relief, like I'd been holding my breath my entire life, and finally learned to breathe. The next day, I walked into the ICU wearing hijab. Mr. Ahmed was readmitted for monitoring. When he saw me, his eyes filled with tears. "Alhamdulillah, you found the truth. Your family's faith changed everything," I said. He smiled. "We were just being Muslim. But Allah used us to guide you. That's the real miracle." He was right. The medical miracles were extraordinary. But the real miracle was what happened in my heart. I'd spent 12 years thinking I understood life and death. But I'd been missing the most important piece. That this life is temporary. Death is not the end. And true peace comes from surrendering to the one who created us. I still work in the ICU. I still see death regularly. But now I see it differently. And sometimes, when families ask me to read Quran to their dying loved one, I do. Because I remember being on the other side. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm a British nurse. And Islam didn't just change my life. It gave me one worth living.